Number 1. Vincent van Gogh, Dutch painter whose work remained largely unrecognized during his life. After his death, he became one of the most famous and influential figures in Western art. Number 2. Emily Dickinson, an American poet who led a reclusive life. Most of her poetry was published posthumously, gaining widespread recognition. Number 3. Franz Kafka, a Czech writer known for his surreal and existential works. He achieved fame after his death when his manuscripts were published. Number 4. Edgar Allan Poe, a master of horror and mystery whose life was filled with tragedy. His stories and poems became widely celebrated after his death. 5. Johann Sebastian Bach, a prolific German composer whose music was relatively obscure during his lifetime. He became one of the most celebrated composers after his death. 6. Sylvia Plath, an American poet whose works, particularly her confessional style, her novel The Bell Jar, became a modern classic posthumously. 7. Heath Ledger, an Australian actor whose portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight earned him posthumous acclaim. He passed away tragically from a drug overdose. 8. James Dean, an American actor who became a symbol of teenage rebellion after his fatal car crash. He starred in only 3 films, but remains a cultural icon. 9. Anne Frank, a Jewish girl whose diary documented her life during the Holocaust. Her writing became one of the most important accounts of the Nazi atrocities after her death. 10. Oscar Wilde, an Irish writer known for his wit and flamboyance. His fame grew after his death, and he is now celebrated as one of the greatest playwrights and authors. 11. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, who transformed American music. His legacy only grew after his death, with millions of fans still celebrating his life. 12. Bruce Lee, a martial artist and actor who revolutionized martial arts films. He became a global icon after his sudden death. Jean-Michel Basquiat, an American painter whose work addressed issues like race and identity. He became a prominent figure in the art world after his death. 14. Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of Nirvana and a figurehead of the grunge movement. He became an enduring icon of the 1990s music scene after his death. 15. Amy Winehouse, a British singer known for her unique voice and emotional depth. Her tragic death at a young age cemented her legacy as a music icon. 16. Tupac Shakur, an American rapper whose music touched on social issues. 17. Frida Kahlo, a Mexican painter known for her self-portraits and unique style. She gained greater recognition as a feminist icon after her death. 18. Buddy Holly, a rock and roll pioneer who died in a plane crash. His influence on music was widely acknowledged after his death. 19. Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, a French painter who captured Parisian nightlife. His work became iconic after his early death. 20. Jane Austen, an English novelist whose works gained critical and popular recognition after her death. She is now regarded as one of the greatest novelists in history. 21. Philip K. Dick, a science fiction author whose works inspired countless films. He gained widespread fame posthumously. 22. Eva Perón, the First Lady of Argentina, beloved by the poor. She became even more famous after her death due to her powerful legacy. 23. Gregor Mendel, a scientist whose work on genetics was largely ignored during his life. He became the father of modern genetics after his findings were rediscovered. 24. John Keats, an English romantic poet who died young. His poetry became highly influential after his death. 25. Che Guevara, a revolutionary figure who became a global icon after his execution. He remains a symbol of rebellion and social justice. 26. Bob Marley, a Jamaican singer who brought reggae music to the world. His fame only grew after his death, becoming a symbol of peace and resistance. 27. Paul Gauguin, a French post-impressionist artist. He gained widespread recognition for his innovative works after his death. 28. Edith Piaf, a French singer who became known as the Sparrow. Her music gained greater fame after her death. 29. Socrates, an ancient Greek philosopher whose ideas were recorded by his students. He became one of the most influential thinkers after his execution. 30. Nikola Tesla, an inventor and scientist whose ideas were far ahead of his time. He gained global recognition for his technological advancements posthumously. 31. Selena Quintanilla, a Mexican-American singer who became a cultural icon. 32. Jimi Hendrix, a revolutionary guitarist whose influence in rock music was solidified after his death. He is now considered one of the greatest musicians of all time. 33. Michael Jackson, the king of pop who transformed music, dance, and entertainment. His cultural impact only deepened after his death. 34. Jim Morrison, the lead singer of The Doors, known for his poetic lyrics. His death made him a legendary figure in rock music. 35. Andy Warhol, an American artist and leading figure in the pop art movement. His work became even more celebrated after his death. 36. Anton Chekhov, a Russian playwright and short story writer. His works gained immense popularity after his death. 37. Marilyn Monroe, a Hollywood star whose beauty and talent made her a cultural icon. Her fame only increased after her tragic death. 38. John Lennon, a member of the Beatles and peace activist. His assassination made him a symbol of peace and counterculture. 39. Oscar Romero, an archbishop in El Salvador who fought for social justice. 40. Eva Cassidy, an American singer with a haunting voice. Her fame skyrocketed after her untimely death. 41. Robert Johnson, a blues musician whose legend grew after his mysterious death. He became an influential figure in the history of blues music. 42. Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen, known for his dynamic stage presence. His fame grew after his death, becoming a rock legend. 43. Jeff Buckley, an American singer-songwriter known for his haunting vocals. He gained critical acclaim posthumously. 44. Eva Braun, Adolf Hitler's companion, whose role in history became more recognized after World War II. She remains a controversial figure. 45. Amedeo Modigliani, an Italian painter and sculptor. His work became highly regarded after his death. 46. Brian Jones, a founding member of the Rolling Stones. His death added to his mythic status in rock history. 47. Biggie Smalls, a rapper whose career was cut short. He became a hip-hop legend after his death. 48. Janis Joplin, an American singer known for powerful voice. She became an icon of 1960s rock after her death. 49. A young singer whose tragic death brought her posthumous fame. She was a rising star on YouTube and The Voice. 50. Nick Drake, a British singer-songwriter who gained a cult following after his death. His music became critically acclaimed posthumously. 51. Antonin Artaud, a French playwright and poet. His ideas on theater and performance became influential long after his death. 52. Stieg Larsson, Swedish author of the Millennium Trilogy. His books became bestsellers posthumously. 53. Jean Rhys, a British Caribbean writer whose works, particularly Wide Sargasso Sea, gained recognition after her death.